There we go.
I don't like that.
We're
I don't
live.
See, something's wrong on my side.
Live.
You're going to have to reboot.
Well, I
In
just did.
5.
Oh, really?
If there's something that comes up during this, I'm not going to be
3.
a happy camper. I'm going to be
2,
like, Gage, dude, come on, man.
1.
Like, I really hate when he does that. Like, he still bugs the living daylights out of me. You know, Joe has some pretty good qualities as a friend. And one of the ones I didn't think I was going to adopt was his naps thing. But I was thinking about that even right before the show because I took a nap tonight. And I was like,
Hashtag
you know what?
nap together 6 foot apart.
I was like, Joe does have some good things about him. Unfortunately, counting down at the beginning of the show.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I don't think I'm alone in that.
Are you going to adopt Carol Baskin?
No.
Carol Baskins.
That is definitely not on the line.
Whacked him.
That is definitely not on the line or in the stars or whatever you want to say.
Man, I keep getting content is no longer available popping up on my Facebook. It is driving me bananas.
Good evening, everyone.
Whoa, hey. This little kid tried to sneak up on me.
Tried to.
He's stealth-like.
He sure did that.
He did.
Oh my
I can't find the page to share. Is this Monday? Are we back on Monday?
I thought Sandy was here to help us out because I'm feeling like stuff is all over the place.
I thought I was
right now.
blue, but apparently I'm not.
Did you already share it? Did you already share the video?
Yeah, I shared it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
What's wrong with y'all?
This thing sucks
in the world?
A lot of straws.
What in the world?
What in the world?
A lot of metal straws, not plastic ones.
Oh my goodness!
What?
I just wanted to say that. I'm looking for a dramatic effect moment.
Quit playing. You play too much.
How was your day, Sandy?
My day was great.
You look like you're shining.
Huh?
You look like you're shining.
Well, I had to wash my face because I just came in from a run.
Okay.
But no, my day was good. I had shrimp tacos. You know, it's like my favorite meal in the world.
Shrimp tacos?
In Lubbock, Texas. And so I went running today. I ran 4 miles and almost died. I had an asthma attack and I don't have asthma. So there's a problem.
It's because you came back from vacation.
Yes.
And you had to do that, right?
I was putting off all my vacation calories. Is not good.
From vacation. Can't sit here.
Oh my gosh. It was bad. But so I watched some crime shows today, y'all. It's crazy. I know.
Really?
I'm shocked. Yes. So I don't know if y'all remember way back when we first started talking about it. We watched, there was one that was suggested. It was called Don't F with Cats.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I remember you telling us about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So today I'm watching a total different show, and this murder ties in with the guy that killed those people.
What?
Yes.
So it's like a sequel series or a spin-off series.
Well, it's not even a spin-off. I mean, like that guy had his own, that was his own thing. And this one, he actually comes into play in a different mystery.
What's up, Tim?
Hey, Tim.
What up, Tim?
Play like it's an actor or play
No, like he has a role in this part of it. And it's a different series, not a part of that series.
Right.
So anyway, it's really crazy. I'm like, what are the odds? I guess they're pretty good when you're in Toronto.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good.
That sounds about right.
It's y'all. Okay, so I learned something new every time I watch a murder mystery. So this one is like cannibalism. Okay. Crazy.
Did the guy hire a guy to eat himself kind of situation? Because some days I feel like that too, where I just need to.
Yes. So that's what this guy was doing. He was like,
oh, what?
So he would have people sign contracts like, hey, when you turn this, like, you're going to have to do it.
I've heard about this before.
Yes. So you need to watch it. It's crazy.
Never.
I'm like, these things exist. How did that happen?
I heard about a guy who was like,
never.
Who was like someone here in the States. It was vice versa. It was someone here in the States who hired someone in like an Asian country, and then one of them flew the other one over here and was trying to go through with it. And I think he actually went through with it.
Okay, so the one that I'm watching, the guy was like, no, it was just, just a thing to get my rocks off.
Yeah, like he was like, He was like, "Oh, this is my fantasy or my."
Yes,
I've actually heard several of these, so I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
Must be this one because this one is strangely familiar. I mean, everything that you've said, like the guy flew in to do this, and then he gets busted because they've been the
FBI they knew him, right? They knew he was doing this or whatever. I bet it is, Sandy. I'm not going to watch it, but I bet it is.
He said, "I'm not going to watch it."
I don't want to put real people to out of sight, out of mind kind of thing.
So you kind of already watched it. I mean, you told me more than I told you.
I'd love to listen
that is true.
To the
that
news,
is true.
And it showed up on NPR maybe a few times that day, and I was just like,
right.
No.
What? It's fine, Jamie. You can watch it because you want to.
I mean, we can discuss it if you'd like.
No, that'd be a good discussion for...
Exactly what Tim said here. This is Freaky Friday material. Come on, y'all.
And it's only Taco Tuesday, Tim.
It is only Taco Tuesday.
Hi,
Rodimus Prime in the house.
I thought about Rodimus all weekend for some reason.
Great day. 4 miles run.
I like her little wavy hand.
How was your day, Joe? Hi, Carrie.
So I had got up early.
Okay.
What's early? Let's talk about
this. 12 p.m. early?
10 o'clock. So I got up at 10 o'clock. Because today we were supposed to go get a permit for the Monster Child.
Awesome.
You'll have an appointment?
We have an appointment, and I was like, oh, I guess I gotta get up and do this thing.
Yeah, you did.
So
10 o'clock. Is the sun even out at that hour?
Yeah, Mama had something going on, like work or whatever, so it falls on me to do this.
It falls on the unemployed.
Right, exactly. So we drive to Levelland, we get there, and they're like, okay, so this is the bad omen. So we get to the DMV thing, and we get our spot in there. She sits us down, and I was like, we have all this paperwork, and she's like, oh, that's an old application. That's the wrong application. So you need a different application. Okay, fine. Okay, we'll do this. And then you also need, she looked at our documents that we had. She goes, well, you also need your registration, and you also need your insurance. And I can't take the insurance off your app because I have to scan it into the system. I'm like, okay. So while your daughter is filling out the application, you can go downstairs to either pick this up or across the street to the library and print them out. I was like, all right. Luckily, I had it all in my car. And so I go back, get in my car, and I have it all, or get it from my car. And then I go back into the DMV, and she's waiting on somebody else. Then she takes us, and she's looking through the paperwork, and she's like, we need one more item. I'm like,
no, you don't. No, you
don't. So, and it was at noon. And of course they're going to take lunch. So they take lunch. We go take care of that one document. We come back. We go grab something to eat, and we wait for an hour, get back in there, and then she's like filling out she's like, okay, I think you got everything. And then she's like, has she taken driver's ed yet? I'm like, no. So we did. She has to sign up for a driver's ed class before we can do the permit.
You know that?
Yes. No, I didn't know that. It was 10 o'clock. It was too early for me, okay?
It was too early to be thinking, but yes, you have to sign up for driver's ed.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh, this is killing me. So we just got an ID instead, a Texas ID. I was like,
okay,
let's just get a Texas ID because I'm not in a hurry for her to drive.
And you're like, and just use this to drive illegally, child.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, oh my gosh, you're killing me, lady. She was really nice, though. I will say this: she was a very nice lady at the DMV. She was really nice about everything, and it was just kind of a pain because I totally forgot about that. I've already got one kid that did it, but yeah, it was crazy. And then I had a photo shoot at 100-degree weather outside. That was fun.
Yeah,
really?
It was blistering today.
And I was trying to take a nap.
You had it this weekend.
Yeah. I was trying to take a nap, but the producer had other plans for me, so.
That producer life, though.
Other plans that involved you.
Other plans
that
for
involved
me,
you not taking a nap.
Involved me not taking a nap, yeah, because she was motivated, so. That's it. That was my day.
So
she was ready to clean.
You were motivated, too.
No. She's like, hey, we need to go look for this at the store. And I'm like, I don't really want to. Oh, yes, you do.
So what you should have said is, I lost my mask. Darn.
Right, exactly.
There you go.
And she's like, I have a whole bunch. Because the state provides her a whole bunch of masks. So there's no way. I just couldn't get out of it. I just couldn't get out of it. So
you need to learn to get out of things.
I do.
Like I broke my leg.
Exactly.
I have a cankle today. I can't.
Right. Exactly.
Jamie, how was your day?
Do you want to talk about your day, Jamie, or do you want to bring on your?
Oh, I want to talk about my guest, and so I'm really excited tonight, guys, because I got to tell you, one of the things that I love the most in my life, just life in general, is art, but in a very specific form, and it's in comic book art, right? And so some of my friends, they know how much I dig comic books. They know some of my favorite artists and whatnot, and so I love that stuff. So I have a guest tonight who's an old friend back from Lubbock, Texas, and she's not there. She's not there anymore. But her work, and you know what? I feel so bad because I never told her how much I loved her work. And every time I'd see her post a picture on her Facebook page,
bad friend.
Man, this just looks so awesome. And so I really got to, and I'll let her work speak for herself. But
he rooted for her from the shadows.
Yeah, I really did. I'd be praying. I'd be like, and then I even talked to him. And the only reason I got to tell her recently was because I was talking with my daughter, who, guys, this little girl, she knows how to do art sometimes, right?
Sometimes.
I mean, a lot of times. So I was like, draw this little pineapple, baby. I don't know if y'all can see that well.
Nice.
I see it. She's like, she was like, I'm working on my shading, Dad, but it's not really good. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? It's not very good. Like this girl. Yep, and so I was like, you know what? I know someone who does art. I wonder if she'd be willing to teach you. And so then I was like, wait a minute. I need to ask her on the show.
Right. Yeah, never mind about teaching my daughter. I need her on the show.
We need show material. Thank you for teaching the show.
Yeah, and so without further ado, help me welcome Noemi Perez to the show.
Yay!
Yay!
Cough clap.
And speaking of compliments, before we start, I just need to say that you are gorgeous. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, wait, you're not talking to us.
Sorry.
Dang it.
Yeah. You want to be more specific. Noemi, you're gorgeous.
Thank you.
And before we get into it, I was the one that said her name wrong. So her name is Noemi, not Naomi. Okay, so if you start typing that in wrong, just let you know it's wrong.
Yeah, for real though. How you doing tonight, Noemi?
I'm doing great. I'm doing very great. Very excited to be here. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for being on. I'm surprised you were on, even though Jamie never complimented you.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Thanks for joining us from sunny California.
I know.
If no one noticed, like you can tell the difference where Sandy's in Lubbock, Texas, down there, and then look at Noemi, and you can see both of their shades, totally different stories coming out of there.
Whoa. So, sounds like a motorcycle was passing by there.
Sorry. A little bit busy area, but California is all squished and tight, and you can just hear everything.
Yeah. She's
right.
Like in LA, like the big part. Yeah, that's
you're in the
crazy.
big business world over there. Over here, I live in a place where there's like max between the two cities, 170,000 people. So.
And skunks. And
skunks.
No,
yeah.
Yes. So no, I'm really excited to have you on tonight. I was telling everyone. But before we get to that, why don't you tell everyone a little about yourself?
Sure. Oh, I see a dog. Sorry.
Pepper joins the show.
Squirrel.
It's okay. She's the dog. What do you call it?
She's the show dog.
Okay, there you go.
The mascot.
Yeah. He's the mascot. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, sorry, I got distracted.
Okay.
But yeah, my name is Noemi Perez. I am from San Antonio, Texas. Born and raised. I went to school in Lubbock.
Shout out.
Lubbock,
Texas. And and now I am here in California, LA, California. I have done art all my life. I would say I actually found my passion in about 5th grade. As you mentioned in the bio, very heavily influenced by manga and comic books. I've had both in my life, with family and actually with friends who are also been very influenced with comics, whether it was drawing or just reading and stuff like that. So I would say the manga part, which is the Japanese comics, started in 5th grade with the how to draw manga.
Really?
So it kind of, yep, that's exactly it. It was literally a book. I think it's by Katie Cooper. It's this blue book. I was so excited to get it, and it just kind of like went off from there. So I would draw every single day. I would bring my little clipboard with my like computer paper on it and my pencil, and I would take it everywhere I went. Everywhere I went. I still do, but I don't have a clipboard. I actually have a sketchbook now.
You're like, I grew up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I upgraded. So, but yeah, that's really like where I guess really the interest too was also just watching all the cartoons, but, and
you
then.
watched cartoons or you watched like animation?
Anime.
Both. So I watched both. Like, before I even knew it was like anime was like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, and that's like
Dragon
more
Ball
like
Z.
yes, very important Dragon Ball Z. But along with just like main cartoons in general, just where I would draw like Disney, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and stuff like that. So I just always loved that idea. And then the idea of just like bringing a story together with these drawings had always amazed me. I love the animation portion of it, but the idea of telling the story and illustrating it and seeing it from where it starts and where it ends, I was just always captured by that. And I just wanted to learn more about it as well. Like I said, I've had people that have influenced me. So my mom is actually a huge comic book nerd.
Oh, I love it.
Your mom's a comic book nerd too?
Yeah, she's a comic book nerd. I had a cousin that was also very influencing with me in my drawing because he also drew comics and again, like collected comics. I had my best friend's dad also super huge into comics and he's an artist himself. So I was definitely grew up around with like a support in that area. And so I've always loved it. I love creating these new characters and coming back with their backstories and everything. And I've just always had that. And it's always been my passion. So from 5th grade all the way to now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I've brought that with me my whole life. So yeah.
That's so awesome. I hate that I never knew that about you. So just to put it in perspective, guys, Noemi, she was in Lubbock at church. I met her through church, and I, go back to visit every now and then and meet and talk with the church and everything else. And so I knew her in passing like that. And then it wasn't until we became Facebook friends and I saw her art and I was like, oh my goodness. So, but now it's like more layers. It's like now learning all that stuff, like, golly, why didn't I talk to you more when I was visiting?
Loser.
Because I would talk with that kind of stuff with Chris.
Yes.
And so he and I would geek out like that. Yeah. Anyway, what I got to ask real quick, what anime, are you watching an anime right now that's popular for you? What's your religious go-to anime right now?
Oh my gosh, right now? Okay, so they just came out on Netflix, but I love watching 7 Deadly Sins.
I'm watching that now too. Yes.
They just came out with the 4th season, so
yes.
Oh, so they got it dubbed finally?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's dubbed too. I can actually watch it and edit at the same time. It's so cool. It's really good.
I saw you have a photo. I didn't choose it, but I almost did. But you had a picture that you drew of, oh my gosh.
Oh, Meliodas?
Meliodas, yeah. I was trying to say Leonidas, and I was like, that's not it.
That's not right, no.
Yeah, Meliodas. I saw that photo. I was like, oh, this looks cool. I'll show you later, Joe, so you can see it. But
sweet. I'm all for that. That is really cool.
Yeah. Okay, so you're watching 7 Deadly Sins, and you know what? Now I'm gonna have to tell you, you're gonna have to bring an Escanor drawing out soon so we can see that. Okay?
Yeah, you had to have an Escanor.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Sandy. I know we're kind of. Sandy helps balances out, or else we'd go like super geek mode.
Yeah, we go
quick.
super deep, and then it would just get.
Yeah.
The time would pass too much. Yeah. So, did you start? Is your favorite medium? Is it like pencil, or do you do a lot of inks, or what? What's your favorite medium?
Yeah, between like just pencil, pen and ink, and watercolors. Huge on watercolors, but I've dabbled with a lot of other things too. But those are like my strengths, I like to say.
Nice.
Yeah, I would agree. Those are. at least from what I've seen. And have you worked on? So I know we're going to show. So everyone, just so you know, we are going to showcase some of her pieces tonight. So you can see some of the ones that she likes, some of the ones that I like, and we'll get some background on that and whatnot here in a little bit. But do you have anything that really stretched outside of what you were aiming to learn and what you do predominantly? Like, I didn't see much of, for example, I didn't see a lot of fruit out there. But not saying that you need to do that, but I know I've seen artists when like they go through the gamut, they go through the ranges. Did you have to go through that too when you were studying?
Oh yeah, for sure. I have so much work that I definitely don't post on my social media, and I think it's just to have more of a theme, I guess, going on my page. But I definitely did the fruit, like chairs and random stuff.
Right. Yeah, like the still life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's still life. The things that you hate to draw, because nobody wants to draw still life. Nobody does it.
It's never like fun to draw those, and it's like trying to find, okay, what can I like that I can like draw or paint in there, and yeah, that's definitely a lot of those.
I can imagine, people are like, yes, I can draw toilet paper.
Right, yeah. Oh man. It's so crazy because I remember having still life assignments. I'm like, really?
Where is it at?
It's just like, and then you're like, okay, I just want to get it done. And then I don't know if you are, Noemi, but I don't like deadlines. Yeah. So you're like 7th period or whatever art class you have, and they're like, hey, this needs to be done by 2 weeks. I'm not motivated to do this right now.
Are you dangling Whataburger in front of me?
Right, yeah, it was like that. Squirrel.
Yeah. So for those of us who help us understand what deadlines are.
Oh,
one of you.
Okay.
Both of you.
So deadlines means that, hey, we want this turned in by the end of class. Like they would set
deadlines.
Up. Yeah. So yeah, they would.
Did you realize it was deadlines?
Yes. Or are you thinking like lines, and then you have to erase them because they're?
I don't know. I wasn't thinking deadline like date that work is due. I was like, that must be some fancy art term that I don't know.
No, like deadlines. Like they would tell you, it's like we have this little still life set up. We want you to have it done by the end of class, and I'm like, I don't even feel like drawing, man.
Excuse me for a moment.
So, us procrastinating folks understand deadlines.
Right, exactly.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. Oh, the procrastination was so real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You turn in your best and worst work because of procrastination.
Those of us who excel when it's that time, like it sucks, but you're like, man, I do my best work during that time.
Under pressure.
Yeah. I hate that feeling.
So I can't draw to save my life. But I did have to take an art class, and I remember light to highlight to halftone to something.
Very good. To shadows to blacks, yeah.
Yes, and that's all I remember from my art class. So there's that.
That's the important stuff right there.
No, that's to learn your shading, that's really important. Yeah.
So Noemi, my daughter, because she wanted me to make sure that she saw some of her artwork tonight. She's like, Daddy, show her this. Okay, so I showed this to everyone earlier, which is just a little, you can't really see it too well, but.
Oh, how cute. Pineapple.
Yes. So this is her, this is her trying. She even told me, she goes, I didn't get the shading down right, Dad, and I'm like, girl, it looks good to me.
Right.
She was like, here, I did this just to be fun.
Oh, how cute.
Cartoon dad. Cartoon dad.
That's funny.
So these were just her funny ones.
Oh.
And then she was like, make sure to show her these too. So she wanted me to show you the lips.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Those are her ice cream lips, I think is what she said.
Yeah.
Oh, we thought they were donuts.
Oh, donut. Maybe it was donuts.
Donut sprinkles, yeah.
And then her other lips. She's in a little thing right now where she's like, I want to draw lips. They're just
those teeth are good though.
Wow,
right?
they are. They are really good.
Lips are tough too.
Really?
They're tough. Lips and hands for me.
Lips and hands?
Yeah,
I would
drawing
say
hands.
Eyes. Yeah. I would just say the whole thing for me. What about you, Noemi?
So, Noemi, have you come up with your own comic book yet, or your own universe that you are working on?
Yes, I have. I wouldn't say, well, yes to the part where I created the universe, but no to actually like putting anything out there. And so that's why I feel, sorry, I have to say, like, unworthy yet to call myself an actual comic book artist, because I haven't like put myself out there in that sense. But I'm working on that actually, so I'm hoping to start introducing that world soon. But yes, actually.
We need to get your first one out then, so we can call you a comic
exactly.
book artist.
We're here to motivate you and give you a deadline.
Yeah.
Keep me accountable.
We need to hold you accountable. We need this new comic line out.
I mean,
Monday.
they're really, a lot of people are like, there shouldn't be an excuse because of 2020, right? And you're like, oh, I'm still going to work, though. I don't know about y'all. So, anyhow, so do we want to get into? Do we want to just show some of the artwork so people can really see?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right. I was just asking. I didn't say I was going to do it. I was just wondering if we should do it.
It was just one of those Joe polls.
What? Why are you?
What was that? Oh, I get this, Sandy.
Sandy knows what.
Jamie. Jamie's like off today. What's
I know. He's like
I'm a little
2 snaps behind.
He's like, what's a poll?
I'm a little, we got someone cool in the
Explain
in the
to
house.
us what a deadline is.
Is that with the chalk or a pencil?
Oh gosh. I'm totally embarrassed right now, guys.
Please not. Noemi, do
It's
not
okay.
show any sympathy to see clowns on us anytime we do something wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. So
Fancy manga claps. How do we do those?
I'm not sure.
Oh, Geno's. Remember when Geno's clapped in One Punch Man?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That weird clap.
Yeah, so weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We
All
do.
right,
I'm
here we go.
rewatching it now.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, look at those lips.
Wow.
Oh wow, you're right. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about this one, Noemi.
So with this piece, I was getting into that whole galaxy phase type thing. I know that was like a huge thing a few years ago. So just kind of practicing with it, and I thought it would be really fun and a little surreal to add it onto, I guess, this portrait, if you want to say. So I love creating, like I was saying, I love creating characters and trying to bring them, like what makes them them. Even if it's just a simple image. And so for her, I want it to seem like very like wondrous and kind of carefree. And so this idea of like the galaxy in her glasses is like, the unknown that she's going to be going to, and how do you say, like adventurous.
I love it. That's awesome.
Gorgeous.
This looks like a watercolor, some mixed media watercolor and pen and ink.
So so here's another thing. So I do a lot of mixed media, but this one actually I primarily did with watercolor.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did this one with watercolor and maybe small accents with like a really nice fine gel pen, white gel pen.
It's very cool. Very cool.
That is cool.
Okay. You can definitely see the anime influence on this one.
Yeah, you can. Are those whales in her hair?
I was gonna say those blue whales.
They are shark whales.
I was like,
Shark
sharks.
whales.
Mm-hmm. So this one, so I don't know if y'all have heard or ever participated in Inktober. Have y'all heard
I've heard of it. That's when I get to see lots of artists' work. I'm like, yes, I love it.
It has been, Inktober for me has been such a like sacred and place of, it got me out when I first tried it of a pit. And so art is very important to me. I'm very passionate about it. And so when Inktober comes around, it's a very special time. So Inktober, so just I guess like a quick explanation, Inktober was created by an artist, I believe his name is Jake Parker. And he puts out a prompt list for every day in October. So it's 31 prompts. And he just basically just puts it out there and says, all right, with whatever the prompt is, which is usually just like one word, create something. And so with this one, I believe it was whale. And I thought of this idea of these, I didn't want just a regular whale. I was like, let's do shark whales.
Right.
And so, and I don't want to do something too average. I want to always have like a twist to it. Again, like a story to tell, that surreal type of feel, but also again like comic book related or manga style.
Right.
So just again like that whole free flowing idea. And a lot of my images, I do like to portray females. Nothing against the males.
They're boring.
No. But it's always like this idea, like they're just I guess we are very complex creatures that were created, and I love that about it, and there's so much that you can do with that. And so I portray a lot of females in my work. Nothing against males, again.
No,
they're not
okay.
boring.
Everyone has.
It's your art. Draw what you want.
Yeah. It's still lovely. So
make no apologies.
I agree with Joe. Agree with Joe completely. All right, and then this one.
That's pretty. That's wicked. I like that.
It is wicked, right?
So this one was so fun. Okay, so I started getting into podcasts, and I got into one called Mythical Monsters. I don't know if y'all ever heard it or seen it.
I have heard of that one. I don't remember where though, but keep going though.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. I found it on Spotify. I believe how do you say it? It's by Parcast. Parcast does a lot of different podcasts.
Okay, that's what I've heard. So,
yeah, so I was going through this whole phase of just going through all the different monsters. Oh my goodness, I'm blanking out on what she's called though. But she is a Japanese creature who actually it's a spider that would turn into a young female, and like seduce and lure young men to eat. And so with that idea, so in the way they talk about those creatures too, is they give a little bit of history, but they tell it as a story, as what their story is supposed to be like. So in the story they were saying was like how she was bathing in this pond, and she was,
Horogumo.
Yes. I think that's what it is, yeah.
Or Jorogumo. I think I threw a Spanish spin on there. Sorry.
It's only natural.
Guillermo.
La Llorona.
That was silly. Sorry.
No, it's okay. You gotta throw the twist in there. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in there she's bathing, and they specifically say that the man doesn't see the spider form under the water. So I was like, that's a fun imagery, because the lake she was bathing in was deep. So she used her legs to like be able to like pop out a little bit. And so, I was like, oh, I have to draw this. This sounds really great and creepy. So that's where she was born.
Whoa. Now that you say it like that, I see it now. I didn't see it before. And now I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, you didn't see that she's underwater? Yeah.
No, I thought I was looking at like the sea was behind and maybe she was on a beach in the front kind of thing. But now I can see it.
Yeah, no, she's in water.
Right. I saw water the whole time.
It is okay. I did this with it's a mixture of Copic markers for the skin, watercolor for like the first wash of everything, and then just colored pencils. Trying to experiment. So I'm always open to trying something new. I think that's definitely something that I like to do. I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to incorporate this and see if this works, and what I don't like and what I might like for future art pieces. I don't like to just stay with one thing. So
yeah, this definitely is one of those that are like adventurous, I guess I'd say, like it, because a lot of people, when I looked at this, I was like, oh, some people are going to be like, what in the world is this? But it does have a duality to it. So that's great.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'll let you talk, because tell us about this one. Does she have a name?
She does not. I have yet to come up with a name for her.
Okay.
But everything that's going on right now in the world, I was like, I'm not very good with words, so I'm just gonna draw it. And I did. And I have so many friends and I would like to call them family. You know, that we're all made differently, and I want to make sure that I portray that. You know, we're not all the same color, and I think it's beautiful. I think that's gorgeous that we're not the same color. So I was like, let's try to incorporate this, and I think the fact that it's darker skinned than some of the other characters I've drawn. I love that. I think it's fun, and it's the challenge too, like art related wise. So I did her mostly with Copic markers, the skin tones that I happen to have, and that's how she was created. And the whole idea too that she's wearing like light colored items to just you know, just make it pop.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that you I love her curls, because curls are not portrayed very often in art. So I absolutely love that.
Real quick, this question I think is relevant. Carrie Patton Jackson says, how do you feel about the Suds audience, the social and distancing show audience, giving you name suggestions?
Oh, I would love that. That's awesome.
During the show, she said. You'd be okay with that?
I would
Go
love
for it.
that.
All right, so you guys can, in the comments, you guys can hit off names as soon as you see one of the pictures for her. I kind of like, Noemi, hearing what you said about this one, like it reverberates well with me and touches me greatly, and I love hearing that about this piece, for example. Like, I don't see very many black people or dark people in comic books. You know, I think about when I was growing up, one of my favorite comic book guys was Spawn. And later on in the issues, when he was revealed to be a black man under the mask, and you're like, that is so cool. So my stepfather was black, and of course I'm married to a black woman, and my kids are biracial. So when I see stuff like this, like I swell with emotion, because I'm like, yes, we need to see more positive images like this out there. And seeing this, like, I was showing my daughter, the one who likes your art, and she was like, she did this? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, that's really great. And so I was like, I know. And so seeing these like this, like, I love it. Like, I want to see more. I want to see more diversity in comic books, and, you know, in manga even. Like, I think about manga, for example, like even in anime, you rarely see a dark skinned anime person ever. They're very, very rare. So this art piece it's beautiful to me.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
See, this is how we differ, Noemi. You can just like think of this and draw it, and I would be like, I need a picture to go off of, and then I can draw it. I'm not just gonna just come up with a sunset and a lady walking in the water. I need someone give me a picture, and I'll basically photocopy it with the drawing. So this is awesome. I love it.
Thank you. I think, okay, so one thing I do miss a lot is the, you know, Texas sky. I miss Texas. Texas is home. Always. But also finding the beauty of, you know, the beaches out here has definitely been something that I've had to discover. So I wanted to kind of practice that some more. Again, just trying some new stuff or working in areas that I'm weak in. And to do that, I just try to find a way to like portray it in a story. So it's not just, here's the sunset, but you know, here's a character who's going out into the ocean and enjoying, you know, the feel of the water and enjoying the sunset or the sunrise, whichever you want it to be. But
what took her out there?
You know, just to feel the water.
What was that question?
What took her out there?
Oh, her legs.
Oh, wait, are we talking about the
Yeah.
I'm like, which one are we talking about?
Okay.
Yeah, I think, well, I kind of usually, every image or piece that I do has some sort of like meaning to me in that sense. And so particularly for me, I like going into, she's not me, but something I enjoy doing when I go to the beach, no matter what, when or even if I'm not really going to go swimming in it or anything, I just want to go put my feet in the water. And it just brings me comfort. And like this idea of like, all right, like me and I'm in the ocean right now. And just being in awe of that. So kind of portraying that idea in this way as well.
Right. Yeah, it's whatever you think brought her out there, Mr. Pineapples. That's what you feel about that piece.
The ocean was calling her name, Jamie.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. I like that too.
Oh, very cool.
That looks. So the butterflies are coming out of her chest right there, huh?
Yes. This one. So I started a new, like, kind of similar to Inktober, but it was like a different artist. And she kind of just did it with like watercolor, like whatever medium we wanted to do. So I started doing it, but I never actually finished. But this piece actually was one of my best ones that I particularly feel like that came out of it. And the theme was, or the prompt was burst. Like bursting out. And so I was like, well, the first thing I always think about is like different expressions of this idea of like either butterflies in the stomach or when you get like nervous. And actually they're not butterflies, they're moths. They're a little less colorful, but I don't know why. I love the butterflies, don't get me wrong, but for something, for me in particular, I just feel like I can connect a little bit more with like a moth, just because they're more simple and they don't like they stand out, but they don't stand out.
Yeah.
So I've always done, when it comes to, because this isn't actually the first time I've done artwork with moths coming out of somebody's stomach or heart. But yeah, I kind of had that idea of like when you're nervous or when you're excited and it just kind of like comes out of you without, you even like trying to let it or just thinking.
Right, yeah. Because I like how the expression is like, oh, I didn't know this could happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I see. She's like, oh, I'm just going to let them all go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like she has a Disney princess expression for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I like how you made sure that they were moths because the moths have the different antenna and the butterflies, yeah.
They're so fuzzy. And
yeah. You're cool.
All right. Tell us about these two ladies.
Oh, cool.
Yay. Okay, so I think I actually created this either before or after I went to Texas. And so growing up, I've had my best friend. She's practically a sister. And we grew up together making stories, actually. And she actually shares a lot of the same like love and passion for anime and comic books and stuff. And it's actually it was her dad that helped me a lot with art growing up. So shout out to him. But so I can't remember if it was before or after, but I've always done artwork with two friends, and I always base it off of our friendship. Because we're always so different in style. Like we're actually really, really different, but at the same time, we've had such a strong connection and bond. So I kind of wanted to portray that in these characters. Like they kind of resemble us. They kind of don't. I don't know if you remember Londi, but or if you remember meeting.
I did meet Londi. I don't remember her off the top of my head, but I do remember meeting her.
Yeah. So I've known her since 4th grade. And we've been to elementary, middle, high school, college together. We grew up together. So this piece was based off of that. And again, trying something new. I had bought some Tombow dual tip markers. I don't know if either of y'all have ever seen those, but they're
talking about.
They're just some new markers basically. So I wanted to try them out, and so I was like, well, I'm gonna try to draw us both, or like resemble us both, and
right. Well, Noemi, they say opposites attract, so there you go.
It's very true. It's very true.
I like it. It definitely has a 90s feel for me when I look at that. I don't know why, but I think it's the brick wall, probably mainly.
Maybe
the glasses. Awesome. This was wow.
Yeah, the lily pads. That's very cool.
I feel like she's sad.
Yeah, actually, I would like to say that there's a sadness to it. This idea of, I kind of had this idea of like overwhelmed feeling and how things can feel heavy and you just want to feel light.
Right.
This is 2020 right here.
Oh my god.
Wow. Yeah.
Golly.
You can call it Rona.
Yeah.
Ah, snap.
La Rona.
Oh, that's a really good one. Actually.
Yeah, it's like
That is
she's
really funny.
floating and trying to get to that peaceful feeling, but she's surrounded by all this drama.
Yeah.
Right.
Hustle and bustle, and this one actually did come out again from an Inktober. I feel like Inktober is just again sacred for me. So I always try to come up with a theme or an idea. And this was last year's, and last year's I actually, and I think we might see it. We'll see. I wanted to do more manga style. So I actually, for every, almost every topic or prompt, I tried to do a comic like page for it. So,
okay.
So if you actually go on my Instagram, there's a few that are not actual like comic pages, but I tried to do majority of them. So again, there's a story to always tell. And I made these characters, like she's the main character, but I made these characters so that you can follow them through the whole month.
Oh, okay. And what was the theme on this one, Noemi?
This one?
No pressure. You don't remember.
I don't. Oh,
you know, if we find it on your Instagram, you'll have the day of the Inktober on there, right?
Yes. Yeah. It'll have the prompt next to the actual day.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. So we'll make sure to share We'll make sure to share her Noemi's Instagram, so you can go check out her art and check out the different prompts for each of the Inktober's that she has posted there. Real quick, I'm going to put this to the side real quick because I want to ask you a question to explain for the audience. So they can understand a little bit what anime is in that style. I know Joe and I, like we said, we watch it, we get it, we can see it when you put it on there. But for audience that maybe hasn't seen anime or really understands it, what it means when you translate that to art, do you mind saying a little bit how your style, how anime style? Actually, I'll show the picture if you want to tell people that way too, so you can show them what.
Oh yeah.
So they have a better idea of what anime is.
Yeah, so I mean, anime is really just, I believe it's actually a shortened version, but it's Japanese animation, the actual anime. And like we mentioned manga before, and which is basically Japanese comic books. It's a very specific kind of style. Again, catered to like comic books, but more of like the Japanese style. So for a lot of like parents, I remember always having to explain this to my mom, was just like anime can include, as I mentioned before, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z. My mom always had a hard time saying Naruto. She would always call it Naruto. So it kind of fits like within that style. So it's very cartoony. So like in this image particularly, like you can still obviously tell like it's a person, but it has a very stylized cartoon look to it.
Yeah, like some of the features are exaggerated. Like the eyes are always kind of big,
huge,
and the hair is always kind of flowy and
pointy.
Yeah, and their heads are usually like all the same shape almost, and like the tiniest of necks, but
right. Yeah, and everyone's very androgynous.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can't tell a lot of the times.
Right. Exactly. Like especially if you're like in the Seven Deadly Sins, one of the characters is very androgynous, and
Gother.
Gother. Yeah, and I was like,
I got that card in one of my anime games recently. I was like, rock. Yes.
Yeah, but and for me, the way that I see anime, it's a lot more complex. The stories are way more complex than an average
Transformers ever was.
Right, exactly. And the whole it's so crazy to me because I feel like in anime, the whole scene is included in part of the animation, whereas comic books or cartoons, you have that one background that's just kind of going across and they're just kind of floating. To me, that's cartoon, where anime is like you get so deep into it. The whole scene is part of the story as opposed to just a passing by of a wall or a building or something like that.
Yeah, and I feel like my spin on that a little bit is like in American comic books, you get full color page comics from beginning to end. And with manga, a lot of times it's majority of the time, it's like 99% of the time, it's black and white. You get a full color front, a full color back, and black and white throughout the whole thing, and very rarely do you ever have an issue that's anywhere full colors anywhere else in it. But they do happen, but majority of times it's all black and white.
And manga reads backwards.
Yeah.
That was hard for me. I was like,
backwards and the other way. Yeah, she's right. So okay, cool.
It's very cool.
Oh, this one's deep.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, this one was this one had a harder topic. This one I made because I had just lost my grandpa. So art is my expression in every way and form, whether it's me, whether it's not me. It's a part of me. So
This is your therapy.
This is my therapy, and so this is how I wanted to portray myself going through grief.
That is so cool.
It's it's just part of it. And when I put things to a page, there's a sense of relief and moving forward.
Yeah.
And so that's what this is. I mean, this is just life.
Right. It's so cool. See, you're so good at that. I'm telling you. To me, you are a complete artist where I am just an illustrator. That's how even in my photography, I have a very hard time conveying emotion. And when I look at this piece right here, all I see is emotion. And so that is, to me, that's amazing that someone can pull that off, because it's a foreign message to me in my work, not in your work, but just in my work.
Yeah, I love it. This is
yeah.
Thank you.
So because of time, I just kind of want to zoom through the remaining pictures.
I just have to say, I love that eyebrow, though. That's a great eyebrow.
I wish my eyebrows were really like that.
Me too. Oh, wow.
So these are the slides that I picked. Noemi, I told her to give me some photos that she wanted to discuss tonight, and that's what those were. I went through hers, and I found the ones that I didn't know we were going to have time, but I was like, I at least want to show them to everyone.
Right, exactly.
And for Noemi to see some of the pieces that she did that really was like, these are some of the ones that really did it.
And so original right here? No,
Yes.
Okay, so man, I could totally see these in a comic book. Like
right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, and I like this. I remember you posted this when you posted this, and you were, I don't remember the question you had asked, but you were looking for names and trying to figure out backgrounds, I think, for them. But I know, like the girl right here, she has a ring that turns her into the cat girl with the staff right there, and the other one has a pendant that turns her into the fox something, right?
Right.
I think she's a husky, but yes, these are the characters I was talking about. Yeah, and I needed a name for the cat girl because I couldn't come up with one. People gave me suggestions and I never picked any.
Oh,
like bro.
Hey, I'm right there with you.
Thank you for all that, but I'm gonna go with this one.
Right? Yeah, your opinion was duly noted.
Her name can be Josephina for Joe, since same way.
Josephina.
Okay. Throw some ideas for her, guys, in the comments.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, a lot.
Right.
That took some work.
Yeah.
You drew each individual scale.
I mean, how long did this take?
A couple hours probably. I think I had done it like separate, but there's a sense of calmness when I actually like just go through each scale. So when there's time where I felt anxious or something, I would work on that dragon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You can see the work in that. I'm like, because that reminds me of like pointillism. And so
that stuff is crazy though.
Right. Pointillism or stipple, and I'm like, that's a lot of work right there. And I like that you use watercolor or it looks like more watercolor on the face, right?
I think I actually used the Tombow markers on that, which actually you could use with the brush and like watercolor.
And kind of watercolor it out. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yep.
This one, nothing wrong with that, but I thought this one looked gorgeous. I was like, wow.
The little faces remind me of something. Like I feel like I've seen those before.
They're probably on Pokemon.
Anime.
Is that what that is?
Probably.
Anime all has those faces.
Right. Yeah.
It's very literally it's just the expression, but they capture the expression so well.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're following the story with the characters, and so but they're so tiny compared to the dragon.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I love it. Wow.
and there's the husky girl
Okay.
by herself. I really liked her. I
Total.
thought, man,
Total. I can totally see this in a comic book. Seriously, you're amazing.
I agree. These should, if you haven't decided, these should be your first comic book right here. These two gals.
I agree.
Here.
They actually are. They are going to be. So I'm trying to develop something with it, but
one's a cat and one's a husky, right?
Yeah, one's a cat, one's a husky.
That is really cool.
Absolutely love this one, Noemi.
Cool.
Curls, I love
I know. I'm like,
yes.
The curls. I'm telling you, those curls are awesome.
This is like as impressive as the dragon scales to me because
you know why you don't see curls very often? Because they're hard.
Yeah,
they're hard to draw. Okay, it's just easy to throw some hair on there. It's not that we're against them. They're just hard to draw. Okay.
Yeah.
They take a lot of time. They really do.
And I love her big hoop earrings too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they bring out wonderful character.
Cool. All right. This one was fun. Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
then this one was fun. What happened here? Why was she cutting her hair off?
I want to say that I had a prompt actually. This is also an Inktober piece, and I think it was cut. So I was like, I'm gonna cut some hair off.
Yeah, that has a very Eon Flux look to me.
Yeah,
like a very Eon Flux type of look like that.
I definitely see that actually.
This one, she's just having a good time right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and it's so crazy because you can like see that she's dancing. You can feel the vibe, the music. It's so cool. I love that.
So her hair is.
It looks dreadlock to me.
Cornrows.
Yes, they're dreadlocks. More dreadlocks. Okay. I think they end up coming out looking like a little bit more curls, but
yes.
No, I mean, it is
I love it.
Box braids. I think that's what I was trying to go say. There you go with those curls again.
I know. I love it.
You did good on that.
Cute. Actually, I will say that my curls or the curls I've drawn is because I recently discovered I had curls. I didn't know I had curls until 2 years ago. I was like, oh, my hair's actually really curly, and I learned to actually take care of it. And so I'm like, all right, we're doing these curls.
Yeah.
You and Sandy can trade notes.
Yeah, for sure.
And then finally, this one I thought was just cute.
Yeah, super cute. Love it.
You know, I chose a lot of these because I again talking about earlier, like one of your first drawings, I was like, a lot of these resonate because I see these women of color in your art, and it's like for me that's important for my kids to see that so they can feel that connection and identify with people that they see like them. And so when I see art like yours, I'm getting more heavy in that because my kids are getting to that age where they want to see more graphic novels. And my oldest one, she's super conscious about things, and when she sees things, she goes, "Oh, there's no one on there that looks like me. There's no one in there that represents me." I was like, okay. And so when I see your stuff, Noemi, I'm like, oh, I hope you do your comic and know that you're gonna have a world of little girls out there that are gonna look at it and feel freaking awesome. So just and then
just go for it. Go for it.
Yes.
Those are awesome, Noemi.
Just do it.
So we are at the end. I hate when we get to this part. I really do.
Time flies.
It really does. Wow.
So before we have to let you go, though, Noemi, we'd like to give you a chance to kind of give a shout out, put a plug in for whatever it is you want to do, and I'm going to give you the screen here for a little bit, okay?
Oh, okay. Just thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dada. And everybody that has influenced me, Mr. Bravado, Londi, and just everyone. I love y'all. Thank y'all for always supporting me. Anybody that I haven't mentioned, I am thinking of you. And it has brought me to where I am today and who I am today. So I really appreciate everybody. And thank y'all so much for having me on the show.
Thank you so much for being on. Can you tell us your where we can follow you for more art, your Instagram or something?
Yes, if you go to Instagram, you will put _gnomes. So it's _GNOMES.
Okay, I'm doing that right now.
I'm putting it in there.
_.
Yeah, follow me. I'll be posting, and I will now be kept accountable so that I can start my comics soon.
Yes. We're gonna be,
and we'll have deadlines.
I know I'm gonna have deadlines. No.
Okay. You know why that threw me off? Because I was thinking of it, and I was thinking deadlights, and so I was like, "Ooh, what are deadlines then?"
Sure. Yeah. That's exactly what you're thinking. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Whatever.
Oh my gosh, you guys got to go see all.
I am. I'm looking at it right now. I think this is awesome.
So while they're fangirling over your, while they're fangirling over your art, Noemi, why don't we always ask a question for all of our guests? We like to take topics for future episodes, and so with that in mind, do you have a topic for a future episode that you'd like for the three of us to cover?
When I was thinking about it, thought, what about, and this could even go, so it's kind of nostalgic in a sense, like old TV shows or old cartoons.
Oh man,
nice.
I like that.
Yeah, so that was my topic. I decided. I thought that was really fun.
So I'm doing Andy Griffith.
Right.
Just kidding.
I was like, why would you do Andy Griffith?
I went way back. Way back.
Well, I thought you were going to go back to like Charlie Chaplin or something. I thought you were going to miss those days.
Shut your face.
He was also
he was around.
When that happened.
No, I was not. They're absolutely not hilarious, Noemi. Don't laugh.
If you haven't told Noemi, he's the oldest of the group. So like, and when I say group, I mean like of the entire human race.
Platinum Heights. It's so hilarious.
It was awesome having you here with us tonight. I really appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us and telling us and showing us about your work. Big time.
Yes,
big
thank
time
you.
love.
Thank you so much.
We are going to let you go. Feel free to hang out in the green room until we're done, and then we can chat a little bit more. And but if not, if you got to go because it's bedtime for you, we understand that too. But
she's like, let me see what time it is.
She will be able to get up fast enough. No, stop. You know what? Someone, I don't know who this person, I meant to highlight them earlier, but Rose Castellano, awesome, sweetie. Blessings to you.
Oh.
And yeah, there's several different from Rose as well, and Genesis.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because Letty was there. Letty Chavez.
Mom, that's my mom.
Oh, that is. Oh, hi, Mom.
Oh,
and
Genesis.
then Genesis. She says you're so cute. Here was Elida said a couple of comments too. Elida Davila. So proud of you, Noemi. Oh, that was Thea.
Oh, yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, no kidding. Thanks for coming on. I just want to make sure there was anyone else who we didn't catch, but we'll show you the other.
Did you see the Rose Castaneo telling her about her art? This one?
Oh, thank you so much, Rose.
And then, here's a friend of ours. Here's Sophia.
Sophia! I miss her.
Yeah, she's definitely grown up.
Letty left one more.
Go ahead, Joe. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, she said
thanks, Mom.
Make sure we get moms in there. So yeah, go back through the comments later so you can make sure to give props to everyone who was kind of supporting you. Okay, Letty, but not Letty. Sorry, get that off the screen.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, Letty.
Noemi, we're gonna let you go and we're gonna say bye to everyone else and we'll see you in a little bit. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. That was awesome, man. I love art. I love comic book art, stuff like that.
We should have all artists on the show, and that's it. Maybe we should just change it to where we just have artists on the show, because then they might motivate me to get back into drawing.
Because remember how many styles of artists that we've had?
Yeah,
we've had quite a bit, actually.
And none of them are remotely close to even being the same.
Right.
That's true.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of them had as curly hair as Noemi did either.
True that. And
I can say that for sure.
Shouted out the curls.
Right.
Shouted out those curls
like
on
she
all
said,
those girls.
Man, we need to put when we broadcast it or replay the video or whatever, however you want to say it. We're gonna put the hashtag for curly hair in there, and then we'll get all the curly haired girls to come and watch it. They're gonna be like, shout out. They're gonna
That's
be like,
what we're trying to do.
That's my girl. That's what
include all the curly haired people.
Yes.
Dang it, Sandy! She started bringing hers out, and I'm like, I know it normally itch, but it feels so good.
What are we doing right now, y'all?
So, Joe, tell everyone who we have coming on tomorrow night before we go.
So tomorrow we're having to pivot But we're going to have 2 young ladies on the show that could help you with your social media. One of them is my friend. Her name is Natalie Weaver, and we'll have them on the show tomorrow. So
cool.
If you have questions about your social media or need help organizing it, they can help you out with that. So it'll be cool.
I will be taking notes tomorrow. I got 2 of these out ready.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
I will be asking all the questions.
All the questions.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a wonderful night. Thanks for hanging out with us. We love you. And as usual,
remember to wash your hands
for at least 20 seconds.
You filthy animals.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
That was a nice change.
Did you like that? I changed it up. It's amazing when you. Yeah, like I was like, I need to put a comma here instead of no comma at all.
Yeah.
So I thought I would change it up a little bit.
Sentence.
Right. Did B wasn't watching, so she's not going to know how her inspiration to you came out yet.
I know exactly.
I hope she hears this.
She's over there with my daughter right now.